we need to know. And we do have some important news to get to. But before that, a very urgent question to you, Angela.
Yeah.
What are you going to have for lunch today?
Today, I'm actually going to be working from home today.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have this konjac fried rice with some eggs. So I heard it's better than just white rice.
Very
So,
low-cal. Yeah, it's a good diet food. Tell me, have you tried it before? Does it taste good? This konjac rice?
yes, it actually tastes pretty good.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
recommend.
All right, I will definitely.
of
If I can
listeners.
look like you, yeah. All right, let's get to the news. The vaccination rate in the country is definitely growing, and that's led to kind of a shortage in the amount of fever reducers or pain reducers that are available in drugstores. So, what is the government doing about this?
So the government announced it will increase the production of fever reducers that are made of acetaminophen as the growing trend of COVID-19 vaccination has driven up the demand for fever reducer or pain relief medication Tylenol. The Ministry of Food and Drug Safety said over 70 kinds of fever reducers made of acetaminophen currently sell in the domestic market, and the effects of these medications are equivalent to that of Tylenol. The ministry plans to continue monitoring their supply and demand in cooperation with the Korean Pharmaceutical Association and Korea Pharmaceutical and Biopharma Manufacturers Association, and encourage manufacturing companies to increase their production. The government will also instruct people to take such medications only for relief when they have actual fever rather than to prevent the symptoms.
Right. I know a lot of people are stocking up on these medications just in case.
Right.
A friend of mine also got her shot and she had to take some of this medication as well. Now, you said there are 70 types on the market with the same sort of relief effects as Tylenol. So what are some of the other medications that have the ingredient acetaminophen?
Besides Tylenol, Keburin in Korean, Penzol, Encid, Taspen, Tramol, and Tasenol. These all use acetaminophen.
All right. Now let's move on to some more news on the vaccination front. Starting from today, people aged between 60 and 64, and also those in the military, age 30 and younger, are going to be getting their shots with AstraZeneca and Pfizer respectively. So give us some updates on this number.
Sure. The number of people who got their first vaccine shot increased by almost 140,000 from a day earlier, bringing the cumulative total to 7.59 million, which is 14.8% vaccination rate in proportion to the nation's entire population. And as of June 5th, the number of people who newly got their first vaccine shot was 138,000, according to the KDCA. 116,000 of them got vaccinated with AstraZeneca, while the remaining 22,500 received Pfizer. And as for the number of people who have received 2 doses, 610,000 got vaccinated with AstraZeneca, and 1.66 million have received Pfizer vaccines. And from today, vaccinations of people aged between 60 and 64 will begin using AstraZeneca, and men aged 30 and younger serving in the military will get vaccinated with Pfizer.
All right. Seems like the speed of vaccinations is definitely picking up. Now let's move on to our next item. We kind of talked about the cost of lunches being around 6,800 won. Do you often dine out with your family for lunch or maybe for dinner as well?
Yes, I've been going out for lunch at work every day, and for dinner, yeah, quite often.
Right. So like I said, I mean, 60% of the respondents of this one survey did say that the cost of these lunches can be quite a burden. And I have to say, the cost does seem to be going up in certain foods in particular, like
Right.
my favorite burgers, and it seems to be going up a bit.
So prices of food at restaurants keep going up, and according to the consumer prices trend from Statistics Korea, food prices at restaurants last month went up by 2.1% year on year. And this result is worth noting because it's been almost 2 years since we saw the prices of dining out go up in the range of 2%. The increased rates in food prices at dining places have steadily gone up from December last year through May this year. And to my surprise, jjampong has the biggest increase of 3.3% compared to last year, which is the highest since 2019, when the price went up by 3.5%. The price of ramyeon at restaurants also increased by a record high of 2.8% from last year, and the prices of chicken went up by 2.4%. Hamburgers, like you said, went up by 6.1%, kimbap by 4.2%, meals at cafeteria by 4.4%. And all these rates went above the average increase rate.
I'm almost afraid to ask. Usually when prices go up, they don't usually go down. But are there any foods that manage to actually decrease or lower their price?
Yeah, so surprisingly, the price of school meals decreased by 100%, of course, and the price of pizza fell by 2.9%, and the price of coffee, which is not food, but still everyone drinks coffee almost every day, was also down by 0.4% compared to the last year.
Yay for pizza. That's what I'm having for lunch today. All right. Moving on to our last item. We know that there are going to be some relaxations in restrictions for traveling this year, but definitely more people are going camping with the social restrictions. And you have some good news for those who are thinking about camping this year.
Yes, from September this year, camp lovers can rent camping vehicles made by tuning freight cars or special purpose vehicles. The Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport will notify the legislation of a revised Passenger Transport Service Act and relevant enforcement and rules this month in order to allow campers to rent those camping cars.
Okay, so that'll expand the variety of vehicles out there. What kinds of vehicles are allowed now under the current laws and regulations for camping?
So currently, camping cars built with tuned passenger cars and vans or buses are only allowed for renting. Last year, however, the government allowed tuning of freight cars and special purpose vehicles for the promotion of tuning by revising the Motor Vehicle Management Act. This measure made it possible to tune a wider range of vehicles, including camping cars, but still people were not able to rent them. So to rent camping cars classified as a special purpose vehicles, they had to either pay a lot of money to buy one or tune into one.
All right. Camping cars can be quite expensive. I looked into try to renting one
did?
myself, and they were pretty expensive.
Right.
So with the expanded variety, I guess it'll help people save money and also give a boost to the camping industry as well. All right. Thank you very much for the updates, Angela. Have a good lunch. Have a good week. We'll see you again on Friday.
You too.
Do you have questions about life in Korea? Send us your opinions